let's talk about one of the most beloved beverages in the world. Coffee. I bet you, just like me, can't start your day without that good cup of this wonder, right? The aroma that fills the house, that first hot sip. Coffee is more than just a drink. It's a ritual, a true warm hug that gives us the energy to face the day. But while you savor your morning coffee, have you ever stopped to think about what this drink might be doing to your body, especially if you have diabetes or prediabetes? This is a concern that many face when trying to control their blood sugar levels. So, how about embarking on this discovery journey with me? Let's uncover what really happens to the sugar in your blood when you drink that little cup of coffee. And of course, I'll share valuable tips so you can continue enjoying this drink without fear. Now, imagine this scene. It's morning, you're in the kitchen, and the smell of fresh coffee starts to fill the air. It's an irresistible aroma, and all you want is to savor the first cup of the day. But, as the water boils and the grounds transform into a rich, dark liquid, the doubt arises. Could this daily pleasure be sabotaging your glucose control? Let's clarify this. Pure coffee, without sugar or milk, is practically free of carbohydrates. This is excellent news, as we know that carbohydrates are the main villains when it comes to raising blood sugar. They turn into glucose during digestion, but black coffee without additives won't directly add sugar to your blood. Phew, right? But hang on, the story doesn't end here. Research shows that caffeine can influence how the body processes insulin, the hormone responsible for regulating blood sugar levels. In people with diabetes or at risk, caffeine may cause the cells to become a bit more resistant to insulin. What does this mean? That blood sugar may take longer to process. Sounds scary, doesn't it? But don't worry. It's not time to say goodbye to coffee. Let's take it easy and better understand how you can enjoy this special drink mindfully. Imagine yourself in the morning, with the aroma of fresh coffee filling the kitchen. The feeling of energy rising with that first cup is almost magical, isn't it? This energy comes from caffeine, a true ally that helps us face the day. But here's a secret that not everyone knows. This same ingredient that wakes us up can also impact blood glucose levels, especially for those with diabetes. Now, take a moment to think. How many cups do you usually drink? For many, 1 or 2 isn't a problem. But be careful. Overdoing it can be a silent trap. And what do you add to your coffee? If you're someone who loves sweetened or creamy coffee, extra attention is needed. Sugar, of course, is a known villain, raising blood glucose. And milk, while healthy, contains lactose, which is also a type of sugar. So, a simple coffee can quickly turn into a bomb for diabetes control. But wait, there's good news ahead. You don't have to give up this delightful ritual. With a few adjustments, coffee can remain your ally. If you can't resist a sweet touch, how about trying natural sweeteners like stevia or erythritol? They don't affect blood sugar levels. And if you love that creamy touch, opt for plant-based milks, like almond or coconut milk, as long as they are unsweetened. And here's a special tip. Adding cinnamon to your coffee not only enhances the flavor but also helps regulate blood sugar levels. So the next time you prepare your coffee, remember these tips. Enjoy every sip knowing that you are taking care of your health. Coffee can continue to be a pleasure in your routine, as long as it's consumed in moderation and with attention to detail. Now, go ahead and make your coffee with confidence, ready to face the day. Picture the scene. It's early morning, and the sun starts to peek over the horizon. You head to the kitchen, almost in a ritual, to prepare your coffee. The smell of ground coffee fills the air, and the sound of boiling water echoes like a symphony. You think, this coffee is going to give me energy for the whole day. But before you take that first sip, how about reflecting on what really happens inside your body? When you eat, your body is like a well-oiled machine, producing insulin to help transport sugar from the blood to the cells. However, when caffeine enters the scene, this mechanism can get a little stuck. Imagine insulin as a key that suddenly has a small defect. The cells become a bit more closed to glucose. For some people, this resistance can increase by up to 15%. It may seem like a small amount, but for those with diabetes, this difference can be crucial for keeping blood sugar under control. Now, it's important to remember that this reaction is not the same for everyone. A determining factor is the amount of body fat. The more fat a person has, the more pronounced this insulin resistance caused by caffeine can be. And caffeine sensitivity also varies from person to person. While some drink coffee and feel almost untouchable, others may notice a much more significant impact on their glucose levels. So the question many ask arises: how much coffee can I drink without it affecting my blood sugar too much? Science suggests that up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day is a safe amount, which is about 4 cups of 240 milliliters coffee. To get a sense of this, take a measuring cup and pour 240 milliliters of water. Now, compare it with your daily coffee cup and see how easy it is to lose track of your consumption. But be careful. Coffee is not the only culprit in this story. Caffeine hides in many places. In soft drinks, chocolates, and some teas, like black or green tea. So, pay attention to your total caffeine intake each day. If you're a fan of a good cup of coffee or a piece of chocolate, the secret is moderation. Savor with balance and listen to your body's signals. Everyone reacts differently, and what works for one may not work for another. So, the next time you prepare your coffee, take a moment. Feel the aroma and taste, but remember, what's in your cup can have an unexpected effect. Your health deserves attention and care, and you are the protagonist of this story. Imagine yourself sitting in a cozy cafe, surrounded by the inviting aroma of roasted beans. You lift your cup and as you take a sip, you wonder, but what am I really tasting here? The truth is, when we talk about coffee, the star is not just caffeine. It varies immensely depending on the type of coffee and how it's prepared. Let's embark on a journey through the different flavors and effects that this beloved beverage offers us. Let's start with espresso. You know, that small, intense sip that many love? It contains between 30 and 50 milligrams of caffeine. It doesn't seem like much, but its strength lies in the concentration. In contrast, think about instant coffee, the kind you dissolve in water. Here, the variation is huge. Depending on the brand and the amount you use, the caffeine can range from 30 to 120 milligrams per cup. Lastly, we have our beloved filtered coffee. This is a true champion, with a variation ranging from 80 to an impressive 200 milligrams of caffeine per cup. Every detail matters. The time the grounds spend in the filter, the amount of coffee you put in, and even the water temperature make all the difference. Surprising, right? Now, imagine yourself on your third cup of the day, believing that coffee is coffee. But here's the trick. Each cup may contain a completely different amount of caffeine than the previous one. That's why it's always good to stay alert. The general recommendation for most people is up to 4 cups a day. However, if you have diabetes or are taking care of your health, it's good to know that sometimes just 2 cups may be enough for you. And here we come to the crucial point. How does coffee affect the body of someone with diabetes? This is a fascinating question. Coffee, especially when consumed black, without sugar or milk, can impact blood glucose levels. The secret lies in caffeine. For those with diabetes, caffeine can influence insulin resistance, meaning that your body may not respond as well to the insulin you produce or take. But don't worry, this doesn't mean you have to give up coffee. Just stay aware and make conscious choices. So the next time you enjoy a cup, remember, there's a world of variations and impacts in what you're tasting. Coffee is more than just a simple drink. It's a journey of flavors, and you are the explorer of this experience. Now, I ask you, how do you sweeten your coffee? This, my friends, is one of the most intriguing parts of our morning story. Picture the scene. It's a sunny morning, and the aroma of fresh coffee spreads throughout the house, wrapping everything in a warm embrace. You approach the table, already thinking about the first cup of the day. As you prepare your drink, a question arises in your mind. Should I sweeten my coffee? Most people, without hesitation, grab the sugar and pour it into the cup. But for those watching their glucose, this decision can be a real dilemma. Sugar, like an unwelcome guest, goes straight to the point, quickly raising blood glucose levels. And that, of course, is not good. But wait, the story doesn't end here. There are many sweetener options that can keep the coffee's flavor without the side effects of sugar. Have you ever thought about exploring these alternatives? And if your question is, what's the best sweetener for my coffee? Don't worry. I have a whole video prepared for you, filled with valuable tips. Coffee can be your great ally, but like any friend, you need to know it well to avoid surprises. Every detail matters, from the type of coffee you choose to how you decide to sweeten it. What seems to be just a simple moment in your day may be directly influencing your health. Now, back to your cup. Do you remember the more natural options, like honey or piloncillo? Oh, but if I use honey or piloncillo, which are more natural, it'll be better, you might think. But be careful. While these alternatives may seem harmless, they also have the potential to send blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. something every diabetic should avoid. So, the next time you're preparing for that special coffee, take a moment. Think carefully about your choices. After all, sweetening life is an art, and every cup is a new opportunity to savor your health. Let's dive into the intriguing story of artificial sweeteners, a plot full of nuances and mysteries. Imagine a world where, among supermarket shelves, various sweetener options await, each promising a sweet taste without the unwanted effects of sugar. But science is still on the path to unraveling the true impact of these products on our bodies. What is known so far is that, most of the time, these sweeteners do not cause an immediate increase in blood glucose levels. However, this apparent harmlessness can hide traps. Many report discomforts like bloating and gas. So, how about a challenge? Try enjoying your coffee unsweetened. Imagine exploring the authentic flavor of coffee, without the masks of sweeteners, revealing a world of flavors you may have never noticed. Now, let's move on to the next chapter of this saga, milk. Are you one of those who can't resist adding a bit of milk to your coffee? Whether it's traditional cow's milk or a plant-based alternative, this choice can have a significant impact on your experience. In the vast realm of milks, you'll find delights like almond milk and coconut milk, true champions when it comes to carbohydrate control. They contain far fewer carbohydrates than cow's milk, making them valuable allies on your journey to healthy glucose levels. However, be careful. Oat milk and rice milk, despite their popularity, come with a higher carbohydrate content and less protein. Thus, they may not be the best options for those focused on keeping sugar in check. And here's an important twist: the addition of sugar in some brands of plant-based milks. Yes, it's true. When choosing almond or soy milk, you might encounter hidden sugar, like a trick of fate. So, the next time you're at the supermarket or a cafe, pay attention to the labels. This simple choice can make all the difference in your battle for glycemic control. So, as you explore the world of sweeteners and milks, remember, each choice is a chapter in your health story. Make wise choices and enjoy every sip of this journey. Finally, let's dive into the fascinating world of cow's milk, an ingredient many of us use daily but one that holds secrets worth exploring. Imagine this. You're preparing your breakfast, and by adding 200 milliliters of cow's milk, you're actually inserting about 10 grams of carbohydrates into your drink. This might seem harmless, but these carbohydrates can directly impact your blood sugar levels. Now, when you start to explore the different varieties of cow's milk, whether whole, light, or lactose-free, you may feel lost in a sea of options. What really changes between them? The answer is fat, not carbohydrates. Many people believe that light milk is the healthiest choice due to its lower carbohydrate content. But the reality is that it simply has less fat. And here's an interesting detail. Whole milk with its higher fat content can turn out to be an unexpected ally. This fat helps absorb carbohydrates more slowly, which is great news for those looking to avoid glucose spikes. So, the next time you're making your coffee, think about all these nuances. Every decision, from the type of sweetener to the milk you choose, can have a significant impact on your health. But wait, there's one more aspect to consider if you're a fan of a creamy coffee. You need to be cautious when choosing. Many creamers contain hydrogenated oils, which can be treacherous. These oils, often used to provide texture and flavor, not only affect your overall health but can also accumulate in your arteries, increasing the risk of heart problems, like heart attacks. And even if you opt for a sugar-free version, don't be fooled. These creamers can still contain hydrogenated oils that, in the long run, may cause more harm than you realize. So, when deciding what to drink, remember the importance of being a conscious consumer. Take a close look at the labels and ingredients. Have you ever stopped to think about what you're really putting into your body? Many creamers and additives we use can impact more than just the taste of the drink. They can have silent and harmful consequences for your health. Thus, while enjoying your coffee, make it not just a moment of pleasure but also an opportunity to care for yourself by wisely choosing what goes into your cup. This is the true art of savoring every sip. Imagine stepping into a cozy coffee shop, where the aromas of fresh coffee dance in the air, creating an almost magical atmosphere. You approach the counter, and in front of a beautiful display, your eyes fixate on tempting creamers and caramel and hazelnut syrups that seem to whisper promises of sweetness and delight. A caramel frappuccino would be perfect, you think, but here begins the plot of an unexpected storyline. What many don't realize is that these treats can hide a dark side. Sweetened to the core, these drinks often contain much more sugar and sweeteners than a simple coffee. The calories, like disguised characters, silently accumulate while you enjoy a drink that seems so innocent and tasty. But what if I told you there's a healthier way to savor your coffee? It's simpler than it seems. Black, filtered coffee, without additions. At first, this idea may seem strange, especially if you're a fan of adding a series of ingredients. But as you allow yourself this experience, you'll soon realize that the pure, authentic flavor of coffee has its own stories to tell. Over time, you might even discover nuances and notes that were once hidden beneath layers of sugar and cream, revealing a new world of flavors. Next time you visit your favorite cafe or make coffee at home, remember to pause and reflect on your choices. Every cup is an opportunity to nourish your body and care for your health. Coffee can become much more than just a drink. It can be a self-care ritual, a celebration of true flavor, and a conscious decision toward a healthier life. So, raise your cup and toast a coffee that not only warms the heart but also cares for your body. Every sip is a step toward a new beginning, where every cup is a reminder that pleasure and health can coexist in perfect harmony. Subscribe to the channel.